This exercise is to demonstrate phrasing. Now, a phrase is a musical sentence. Music is a type of language, like English. Languages can transfer information. If I want to give you some information, I can use English, and they can usually be written down and interpreted. So if I wanted to give you some information, I could write it down and give it to you. Well, music also transfers information. If you hear a happy song, you can tell it's a happy song even if it doesn't have words. If you hear a sad song, you can tell it's a sad song even if it doesn't have words. And sometimes if you're at the movies and the guy's about to go into a room and you hear the scary music play, you know, don't go in there because the music told you something bad's about to happen to the guy. So that's music giving you information, and then obviously it can be written down and interpreted. Now, English is written and spoken in groups of words called sentences. Music is written and played in groups of measures called phrases. If you were going to speak a sentence in English, like, for example, see Popeye ride his bike, notice that I didn't breathe anywhere in the middle of the sentence. You wouldn't say, see Popeye ride his bike. It just isn't going to sound right. Same thing in music. In music, you don't want to breathe in the middle of a phrase. Now, if you're speaking English and speaking a sentence and you have a comma or a semicolon, it's okay to take a breath. Notice I put a comma in that sentence, I took a breath. Commas and semicolons are like rests or printed breath marks, which looks like apostrophes. Anytime you have a rest or a breath mark, it's okay to breathe. But if you don't have a comma or semicolon when you're speaking, you have to wait till you get to the end of the sentence. Same in music. If you don't have a rest or a breath mark, you have to wait till you get to the end of the phrase before you breathe. Phrases are generally 4 measures long. So when we're playing solo music, usually the music is going to be grouped into groups of 4 measures. Now, there'll be exceptions to this. Sometimes we'll have pickup notes, and sometimes we'll have what we call dovetails, where the last note of a phrase ends a little longer. And then sometimes when you're in band or you're playing in a performance group, the director will ask you to do something called staggered breathing, where they have everybody breathe at different places, so it doesn't sound like there's a seam or a break in the music. But in general, when you're playing solo music, you're going to see 4 measure phrases, and you want to breathe at those points.